Hi LCS students, it's Mrs. Peterson here. Today we're going to be making artwork inspired by the story The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is fold our paper and cut our paper so it's the shape of a square. Right now we have a rectangle. So to make my square, I'm going to take the top corner of my paper, right up here, and I'm going to fold it down until it touches the bottom of my paper. This is going to leave us with a diagonal line, and then I'm going to just line it up and fold my paper along that diagonal line. Now, right here, I'm going to cut with scissors along this line. And this is extra paper that we will not need. So I'm going to take this away, and then I will open my paper back up, and now I have a square. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my name, and I'm going to write my room number with pencil. And then I'm going to flip my paper over so I can't see my name anymore. For this project, I'm going to be using watercolor paint, but you could also use crayons or colored pencils or markers, whatever you have available to you. I am going to take my dot and turn it into a concentric circle. But first I need to start with a smaller circle or dot in the middle of my paper. So right here I have a cap or a lid that I'm going to trace. I'm going to line it up so it looks like it's in the middle of my paper, and then I'm going to trace it with my pencil. And then I will not need my pencil anymore for today. Now I'm going to get my watercolor paint. I need a cup of water, and I also need a paintbrush. When I hold my paintbrush, I'm going to make sure I hold my paintbrush on the handle. I'm not going to touch this part of my paintbrush at all. To use my paintbrush, I'm going to give my paintbrush a bath so it gets some water on it. And then I'm going to start right in the middle, and I'm going to paint my dot. And I am not touching the paint with my fingers. The only thing that's touching the paint is my paintbrush. And be sure to be nice and gentle when you use your paintbrush. So now I have a circle in the middle of my paper. Now I'm going to start to make concentric circles. So my circles are going to get bigger and bigger as they go around this dot. I'm going to give my paintbrush a really good bath, and then I'm going to pick my next color. I think I'll do yellow. So I'm going to take my yellow, and I'm going to use my paintbrush to draw a circle around the green circle that's in the middle. You do not have to copy my colors. If you would like to use different colors, that's totally up to you. Now, I'm not finished with this circle yet because I need to connect the yellow circle and the green circle. So I'm going to just put a little bit more water on my paintbrush, and I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to paint this whole white area yellow till it touches the green. So now they're touching, and I'm ready to pick another color for an even bigger circle. So I'm going to give my paintbrush a really good bath. And then after I give my paintbrush a bath, I'm going to pick a different color. Maybe orange this time. And then I'm going to draw another circle going around. Your circles do not have to be completely perfect. Don't worry about that, just try your best. Whenever your paintbrush starts to get too dry, you can always put it back in the water. If your paint starts to look very dark, that means you're not using enough water. You need to use lots of water with watercolor paint. And then I'm just going in, and I'm making my orange circle and my yellow circle touch. So I'm starting to see my concentric circles. I have a small circle in the middle, and then a bigger yellow circle, and an even bigger orange circle. So I'm going to keep making circles until most of my paper is filled up. So I just gave my paintbrush a really good bath. And I'm going to get my next color. This time I'm doing blue. And I'm going all the way around my orange circle. And then I can go back in and make my circles touch. And it's okay if the colors mix together a little bit or if they drip. That's going to happen, and that's what's going to make it unique and yours. And I think I have room for one more circle, so I'm going to give my paintbrush a bath, and then I'm going to pick maybe purple this time, and I'm going to make my last circle. Some of you will have room for 4 circles, some of you might be able to fit 6. You just want to try to fill up your whole paper as much as you can, except you might not have room for the corners. Now, I'm finished with my circle. To finish off my painting, I'm just going to paint these white corners so they're not quite as plain. So I'm going to give my paintbrush a bath, and then I'm going to pick one more color. I think I'm going to do red, and I'm just going to paint my corners. And it's okay if you get a little bit of paint on the table. That's not a huge deal. Watercolor paint isn't that messy and can be wiped up pretty easily. And when I'm all finished painting, I'm just gonna give my paintbrush a really good bath. I'm gonna wipe it on the side of my cup one more time, and then I can just sit it down on the table. So now we have our concentric circle. We started in the middle with a dot with a small circle, and then we made bigger and bigger and bigger circles by giving our paintbrush a bath and changing colors every time. I can't wait to see the amazing circles that you made. See you soon.